Excellencies and participants, as we conclude these 2 inspiring days of exchange, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude for your presence, your thoughtful contributions, and your steadfast dedication to the spirit of Bandung. 70 years after the historic gathering of 1955, we meet not merely to honor the defining moment, but to reaffirm a living legacy, one that continues to guide the aspirations, responsibilities, and collective voice of the Global South. Over the course of our discussions, you have reminded us that Bandung was never simply an event. It was a vision of dignity, solidarity, and sovereignty, a belief that nations long marginalized could speak in their own name, craft their own development pathways, and contribute actively to a fairer international order. Distinguished speakers, excellencies, and participants, across these 2 days, we trace the evolution of Bandung spirit and its continued relevance for the global south in a shifting multipolar world. Our discussions highlighted the rise of BRICS, plus the geoeconomics tensions between connectivity and containment, and the impact of digital transformation on opportunity and dependency. Diverse regional perspectives from East Asia to Africa, ASEAN, the Middle East, and beyond revealed varied pathways of South South cooperation and strategic adaptation. Together, these reflections underscored a global South redefining its strategy and solidarity within an increasingly complex global order. If there is one message that emerges clearly from this conference, it is this: the Global South is no longer a passive actor in world affairs. It is a space of innovation, resilience, and leadership, a space that demands recognition not as a bloc reacting to global changes, but as a collective shaping them. To our distinguished speakers from 4 continents, we extend our sincere gratitude. Your contributions have enriched the debate, challenged assumptions, and reminded us of the intellectual and moral responsibility we carry as scholars, diplomats, policymakers, and citizens of a changing world. To all participants, thank you for listening deeply, engaging constructively, and building bridges across regions, experiences, and generations. Bandung taught us that solidarity is not a slogan, it is a practice. Over these 2 days, you have embodied that spirit. Distinguished speakers, excellencies, and participants, let this gathering not be an end, but a beginning, starting point for new research, dialogues, and partnerships. The Moroccan Institute for the Global South will continue to serve as a platform for such exchanges, and we look forward to building with you a vibrant and impactful community. On behalf of the Moroccan Institute for the Global South team, I extend our heartfelt gratitude for your trust, your ideas, and your presence. We wish you a safe journey home, even though we had it virtually, but we are bringing you together to this late hour to speak and to open the debate. So thank you so much once again, and hopefully to see you sometime soon in a new event. Let me open the discussion if there are any questions from within us.
Well, I don't have any question, but I would like to say like hi to every one of you. It's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you to Mohammed and the Moroccan Institute for the Global South for the invitation to be able to participate or to talk a little bit about the Global South. It's kind of strange because I'm from Mexico, part of the Global South, but I decided to do my presentation on how Russia is linking or approaching to the Global South. It was an exploratory research but I would like to continue developing that topic in the future, and to get to write it, to present it to like a different uh, international relations survey or anything. And I also would like to add, we're maybe it's the same, similar for you. We're at the end of the semester, like, applying exams, and the students, professor, please let me pass the semester. So I haven't been able to review your materials, your knowledge and presentations. So in that sense, now I don't have any question. Like, I would like to know more about this, but during vacation time, we're about to start vacation period, Christmas vacation. So I will take the time to see your presentations, and somehow we stay connected in that sense. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Monica. You had a great presentation about Russia and the global South. Although because we had no one who was able to shed light on that specific topic. Yeah, as you said it, even though you are quite far from Mexico, but still you did great job, and you enlighten us about the position of Russia vis-a-vis the global South. Thank you so much to you as well. There is Professor Lecchini. She is from Argentina, but she was unable to join us. I don't think she has some issues with Teams. I don't know. Maybe others had this same issue, but at least we had those people who are with us here today. I'm just checking my phone if there is anybody who's trying to join, but I think some of them might have some issue with it. But still, thank you so much, really, for your time. I enjoyed all the presentations, but let me just ask some questions anyway, and since we're nobody who's going to ask any question. Dr. Mishra, what do you see the future of India-Africa relations? That's really one of Africa today is a place that attracts everyone, and one of these emerging powers that are having their foot in Africa is India. How do you really see the future of the cooperation between India and Africa from one side? And since I am a Moroccan, I would like to see, because as you told me from the last visit, there is some new thinking there's a new partnership between India and Morocco. So what do you see the future of those two countries as well? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Bouchiki, for the question. And in fact, it's a very big question. It's like we know that Africa is the future, because we've seen that the trajectory of development, global development, I will say, is going forward, and this is Asia's time, and of course definitely Africa is supposed to be the future, with reference to both economy and peoples as well. So we know that India and Africa, since the Bandung times, have been very close to each other, and India has been very active in terms of the decolonization processes that were taking place in the continent, and of course supported these countries and their nationalist movement in those times when India was not that rich, and in fact it was poor at that time, very poor country. So India paid certain costs for supporting and kind of helping the nationalist movement in those areas, in Africa specifically speaking. So the relationship has very deep roots, and the Afro-Asian spirit, in fact, expanded to the spirit that we know as Global South today. So that is how seminal and key this relationship is between the two regions, Africa and India. And although the nature of the engagement is changing, it's not ideological anymore, but the spirit of development remains the same. Because India nowadays being kind of a developing economy in advanced manner, both in terms of its technological achievements, economic achievements, also the size of the economy as such, is now able to invest more into Africa and uh, specifically cooperate in terms of the developmental processes in the developing countries of Africa, and also that of the educational and the technological perspective. From these perspectives, the cooperation do matter more than ever. So the nature of engagement is changing, how, and the quantum of investment is also changing. In fact, I should say that India is looking for more deeper and greater economic partnerships. In fact, comprehensive economic partnerships with Africa. It's not from the perspective of India-China cooperation competition at all, because this might be a kind of a sometimes prism that the world may or might look at us, that we are competing with China in Africa. But no, we were there before, we are here, and we will engage Africa in a better manner and deeper manner. And of course, we also see that the relationship is based on mutuality. What we need from each other, it's not that what we only require from Africa. So whatever engagement from the Indian side takes place with the African countries, India is quite sensitive to the needs of the countries, and of course the projects are undertaken as per the requirements of the host countries, of course host to our investments if we can have. So that is how the relationship is evolving, and we have in fact identified certain key areas of cooperation: tech, education, capacity building, capability building, and that also of the certain critical minerals that we require from our own sites. So these are the and human to people contacts and humanitarian aspects. So these are the key areas where India wants to focus to engage with Africa. And from the African perspective, what we feel like that diversification and balancing of geopolitics in the region as such, as all the powers, greater powers want to, or in fact, kind of scrambling in Africa for power and leverage. So India is a key player or a key leverage in the balancing act the African countries want to play to keep their autonomy and leverages intact with them. So this is how the relationship is mutually beneficial to both sides in that sense. Speaking of Morocco, when I was there, we realized that we want to cooperate a lot on higher education, high-tech education, specifically uh, IT, now AI as well, and that also of the space sector. So these are the important sectors. We normally have a very good trade relationship in terms of phosphate, but cooperation is actually being enhanced in high-tech areas, and IT, AI, and the space sector is also being explored in a very good manner. So, of course, there is an interest in Morocco also for the space cooperation with India. So these are the sectors that we are looking at and engaging in. Number of other sectors, but of course, the time is short. There are a lot of many other things, and we hope for the best in the future. The Bandung spirit remains, and it becomes more important in the sense that the world is going towards bipolarity, or some kind of bipolar pressures are being experienced by the countries of the world. So this spirit comes again handy to us to make the balance that we require in the global geopolitics. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here and to present my viewpoints. Nice meeting you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra, for your contribution, for your presentation, and for your enlightenment. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Leccini, Professor Leccini. She's one of those distinguished scholars of the global South. She's from Argentina, and she thankfully really she contributed to us with the very great piece of art of her presentation. Thank you so much, Professor Leccini, for being with us here today, for your efforts. And you know, she never knew me. We didn't know each other, but just once I contacted her, she accepted my invitation, and I'm very thankful to you, Professor Leccini.
Thank you very much, Professor Mohammed. I'm very happy to humbly contribute to this quite interesting meeting. Although my perceptions concerning the possibilities of our countries to solve our problems are, I cannot say optimistic in this turbulent world. But anyway, I think that to open windows of discussion and windows of opportunities is quite a terrific thing. And anything that we could do just to connect people thinking similarly, or just having and being aware that we have similar problems in a world that today is much more Hobbesian than in the 1955. I think that 1955 solidarity was much more common on those times, and there was much more a Lockean world than the Hobbesian world. Today we are merging a Hobbesian world, so we need to exchange our views and promote discussions. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Thank you so much, Professor Leccini, once more, and hopefully this is a call to all of you. Hopefully this will be just the beginning of regular meetings on discussions about the Global South. We will be very glad to do it at the Moroccan Institute for the Global South, to have at least once each 2 months or 3 months. Just we have these 3 to 5 speakers. We just discuss and exchange ideas. I hope this will be that you will accept this invitation, and we will think of it later and how to do it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And there are some other colleagues also. I know Professor Hamdi, Professor Javier, Professor Debes Valdez, Professor Sakara. We know each other, so this is something interesting that we can all converge in the same discussions.
Sure. As we say in Morocco, sure, inshallah, we will do it, and we'll get in touch with Dr. Hamdi and Dr. Zakara and Dr. Javier. I know the time differences plays its own role today to bring in all the speakers today, but surely we will work on it and find ways of discussion and collaboration in the future.
Inshallah.
And today we're really happy because also Dr. Agus, this is my first time to meet him and talk to him, but I was trying to find someone from Indonesia. The Bandung conference was born in Bandung Spirit was born in Indonesia in the time of Sukarno. So once we met through a friend, he enthusiastically accepted my invitation to speak. Thank you so much, Dr. Agus, to be with us here today.
Yes, thanks. Most welcome.
Thank you. And please, you have something to share with us?
Yeah,
I have a question later
would
to
like
open
to-
discussion, but still.
yeah, I would like thanks for the opportunity to allow me to join this interesting discussions. Beside all those material discussion, I think one key nugget that we need to take is how that we do our network, common understanding, friendship. That is something that fuel the solidarity in the past. Otherwise, it's very difficult. You are talking across the borders, different cultures, different time zone, yeah, and it's happening as well within the global corporation. If you could not interact, establish your reports, establish network, it's very hard talking about just hard fact or those technicality. This is the bonus that we are gaining from doing something like this one. So in Indonesia as well, it's quite challenging. We just got a new government of last year's, very huge homework. The country itself is very big. If you do not know about the geography, it's stretching from East Coast to West Coast like US, and 280 million population. Is very hard and very different people from region to region. It's very hard to maintain those integrity as well. So the current president is, trying very hard to be on good track. And I was invited last month, some of the leaders in the country, and speaking around 3 hours with the president. It's very good. He just sincerely opened up that I have nothing to lose. I need to build this country, and for the sake of my people. And one of the good things is that he committed to eradicate or minimize to all those corruptive practices, and as well that he is very eager and quite active in networking with other leaders within the region and the world. Compared to the previous presidency. It's very good. And I would like to quote something that he found to quoting. This is from the ancient about the unbalance of the domination. He found a thing that the strong do what they can, the weak suffer what they must. This is quite ironic, but it's sadly enough that sometimes it's still happening. So we would like to have some equality, diversity, but in a common goal that we are sharing the same planet for the better. You cannot do good, but that you let other bad. This is something that we need to have some dialogue, not only south to south, but also dialogue of north to south is in the multipolar world, as you mentioned. Yeah, and another things that we also need to focus as well, instead of the fight against something that is bad, but we also need to focus our energy to the fight for something that is better, for collaboration, for the better technology that we can harness all those advance of the technology for the better of humanity. And another point is that we are I believe that the next generation, the Gen Z and the younger generation, that we need to rely very much on them. My topic is about opportunities from the rise of the technology, but again, on the other side of the coin is colonialism in the new form. But then we see that the rise of the Gen Z, we can see that they have some awareness of social justice, of environmental ethics, that we need to collaborate or network among this younger generation that becoming the future leader of the world, something like that one. Yeah. So that we can see that not the weak need to suffer what they must, but they need to live peacefully, justly for the benefit of everybody as well. Then you need to have some more collaborative, systematic action plan on the ground as well. Yes, Dr. Muhammad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Agus, and we really enjoyed your insightful presentation. And as I said, this is just the beginning of a long-term dialogue. Through the dialogue, we understand each other and we tackle to some extent all our differences. We will not tackle all of them, but to some extent, at least when we know each other, to make things easier for us. Your Excellency, Dr. Hami Hassan, now you contributed. Yes, please, your input, please. Thank you so much for your time, for your efforts.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. I'm very delighted to be with you. I enjoyed listening to our colleagues from Argentina, from Indonesia, from India. It's very, their insight is very, very useful for me in this part of the world. But I'd like to, to say that I share somehow this feeling of being pessimistic and optimistic at the same time. Pessimistic because of what's going on right now, and our colleague from Argentina, just demonstrated in very wise word how is it difficult right now to put together nations and states and push them to work together for the better life and the better world. So it's very pessimistic view, but the most optimistic one would be that we have the spirit of Bandung here. That's why we are gathering tonight or this morning. It depends on the zone time where we are. And I guess that we have to stick with this optimistic view, because what we had witnessed after COVID-19, we came to the conclusion that everybody is at jeopardy, the world is at risk, and all of a sudden, while everybody was, decision makers were, planning some new schemes how to take over the world, economically speaking or geopolitically speaking, all of a sudden we found ourselves, that as weak as we had never thought we would be. And then even our colleague from India, we witnessed that even India and China, who used to be somehow of like the manufacturer of the world, they were supposed to meet, the demand, international demand when it comes to goods and things like that, and they couldn't make it. So this very what I call the wild economic fight between superpowers has to to come to the end in a way or another, and that's why we I think that with this spirit of Bandung we can rebuild again a new form of solidarity between our nations and states. But my only reservation would be that when you take a look at this BRICS, for example, as a new group of countries that is normally supposed to bring some kind of balance between superpowers or intermediary or medium powers, is opening up this organization too many countries who have different agenda, and they have different goals, and so we would be ending like having a new alignment movement again with a lot of dichotomies, views, lot of differences with respect to what they are hoping to reach in terms of economic, social welfare for their own peoples first, and then for the whole mankind. This is something that would push me to be a little bit more reserved when it comes to how we could work together in order to to give a very how we call it optimistic view or vision to our to new generations. And again, we are very optimistic. I am very optimistic on one last topic, which is academic field. That's why we are here. And you know that think tanks and scholar community has sometimes proposed good ideas for to decision makers and convince them to be less less harsh on themselves first and on their people. That's why what I want to share with you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your presentation as well. And hopefully next time we'll have this open dialogues within the Global South. You'll be with us always, and hopefully.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure. You can count on me.
You so
know
much.
that.
Sure. Thank you so much. So, Professor Monica, you enlightened us also about the Russia and the Global South. You know, we somehow we were able to cover all the regions in the world, coming from Korea to Mexico, but we were missing someone from Russia. But please, you filled the gap, and you saved us on that thing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was actually really interesting because, as you may remember, historically or traditionally, I haven't worked with the Global South, so I feel a little bit like out of my comfort zone in terms of research. But it was really interesting, especially because for me, one of the most interesting findings it was how Russia perceives the Global South and how it perceives itself as not part of the Global South. So discussing like what I could see, and I would like to keep researching, is again how now it used to, from Bandung, it was called the third world, like being apart from the first world and the second world. Now it's called Global South, but it seems to me that it still remains the Global South, this field of battleship between these two big poles of power, like Occident, especially with the US, and Europe that is kind of lost, and then Russia and China. And the interesting part, for example, in Africa is we can see how Russia, the United States, and China have regional conferences or continental conferences with Africa, which marks the importance of the continent of the African countries in this new era. So even like Russia, China, United States want to take part of it. I don't trust, I mean, being from the Global South, I don't trust the good interest of China, the good interest of Russia, or the good willing of the US regarding how they link up with our countries in Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, right? So my view on this topic is still from this superpower or first world, second world, and how they want to relate to the Global South, which I still don't trust them. Of course, it's still national interest, wherever. And I would like to, I mean, the discourse might be very kind, but the actions are not that kind. So I think it's interesting at that point. And from Russia, I would like to keep researching like how it's linking up, engaging with different countries, in Latin America or Africa. But that's my point of view on that topic so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Monica, for your contribution as well. And as you said, we had something missing in the puzzle, which was Russia. And I was asked myself, like, are we talking about global South or global Souths? Because even within the global South, the fragmented global South, there are global Souths. China is not India. India is not I don't know Indonesia. Indonesia is not Morocco, and this one Argentina is not Brazil. And within this global South itself, we know I do believe that we have lots of global South, despite the fact that all countries are pursuing national interest. That's the survival and the national interest at the first level. But still, we talk about the global South once we are talking about the global North. But apart from this, I think we are talking about different worlds within the global South. And I'm not sure if you agree or disagree with me, but still, this is how I picture it. There is no global South as one global South, but to my understanding, there are lots of global Souths with sometimes contradicting interests. If we take, for example, even our friend here, Dr. Leccini, we were saying something, Professor Leccini?
No, I fully agree. No, I was just, I fully agree that I even don't like the term global North. There is not global North. No. There is only one. And so we have to separate to be clear with what we are talking about. Even China is almost challenging US in different areas. And we cannot consider China from the global South, despite the fact that China itself has its own speech of belonging. But these are all things that we have to discuss. I love the term South, but when in the 90s it appeared to be global, it spoiled everything on my point of view.
Yeah, and I think
excuse me. Yeah, I totally agree with the. I totally agree with the doctor from our colleague from Argentina. Even when Dr. Leccini. Yeah. When you talk about the global North, there is no global North, and you know why? What's happening now? There is some sort of a trend to bring even Europe to the early stage of 19th century, I guess, because the differences and the dichotomies are so deep that now they don't know what to do, because they had been used to use what we call the South or the global South right now to their advantage, and right now they are lost. They don't know what to do. And you talked about Russia. Russia is in big trouble with respect to Ukraine, but Europe also, they are in trouble. And the main issue right now is how to find a way to solve this this pending issue, while thinking about what to do about this global South, who is like waking up a little bit, and trying to find out that every South, every individual in the South have to believe in themselves, and maybe to wake up and get up and to bring together what you have to share with each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Dr. Mishra, do you disagree or agree with us?
There is nothing to disagree about. All the dynamics are there. In fact, the entity that we know as Global South these days has become important in both ways, economically as well as from the security perspective. Because even in Bandung, development and justice, and at the other hand, the fog of nuclear war, or kind of the nuclear threat, and the discussions were ongoing. We again see that the nuclear discussions are re-emerging. A kind of a nuclear race is also starting in a new sense. And the kind of tariff warfare that we are looking at all reminds us of these situations just before the world wars. So in that sense, Global South becomes important from the tariff warfare perspectives as well, because we can no longer look towards the developed countries as such. Of course, we cannot wean away from the certain aspects of our relationship with the developed countries. But there are countries in the Global South who have enough leverage, enough adequate infrastructure, and adequate economic know-how, technological know-how that can be shared among the Global South countries to you can say reduce the dependence on the global developed countries, and of course they have made our life more unpredictable, given the way they are behaving at the moment in our own times. So developing new economic and security networks among the Global South countries becomes more important. So new economic trade networks, if developed, howsoever or whatever be the number of Global Souths there, it will always be beneficial to avoid the kind of pressure, the kind of treatment the Global South countries face in terms of the global diktats that come from their side, both economically and security wise. So India is also, if I specifically talk about India, so when 50% of tariff was thrusted upon India, 25 as punishment because we had been engaging with Russia, importing oil from them. So 25% is not a small number. India has realized the importance of the countries of the Global South more with the steps that the United States has taken against it. The perceived evolving friend that India was becoming to United States has realized again how important autonomy is and how important balancing and in fact, creating new trade and economic networks among the Global South countries has become for it to grow at the same pace that it is actually growing. Sustaining that pace is only viable if we create new networks in the Global South. Otherwise, these unpredictable, arbitrary diktats shall be always coming to us, and we'll be rushing around crisis with only a crisis management approach rather than the problem-solving approach. So problem-solving is all there in the Global South. We look towards the Global South from that perspective. So that is how India is looking at the Global South. And of course, the questions remain, and I completely agree with that. Dr. Bochoki is muted, I think.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Mishra. And Dr. Agus, do you have something to share with us? Because I'm really sorry once again, I have taken a lot of your time, and especially for our friends in Asia. It's late, it's early morning already there, and we're still taking you with us.
Yeah, I think I share with some other as well. Number one, that Bandung spirit is still relevant with different context, different forms, but the spirit is still, applied to all of us. Between fortunate and unfortunate, whatever the reason being, that we need to, share the benefit of progress politically, economically, and socially. And again, that, this is awareness that need to be built, not only within the global south, but I believe the young generation in global north, whatever the term is, are on the rise in terms of social justice, equality, environmental ethics. Because if we rely on those established existing power dynamics, it's quite hard, how that you need to democratize the UN, for example, how that you compete with the domination of technology, a huge investment being put in, and there will be as a tool for a new hegemony, other than, we rely upon the next generation that is a full awareness about humanity, solidarity, and sharing on the same boat, something like that one.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agos. Thank you to all of you for your time, for your efforts, for your insightful contribution to this international virtual conference commemorating the 70th anniversary of the Bandung conference. Hopefully, this is the beginning to have an open dialogue, open discussion within the Global South. Although Professor Licini doesn't like the word global, but it keeps with globalization, I think, and we have to adopt it. So to open discussion and open debate for the time to come. Thank you so much once again. I'll be in touch shortly with you for the coming events.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much, Mohammed.
Thank you so much.
Hi and
Thank you
goodbye
very
to
much.
everybody.
Bye
It
to all.
was very nice to meet you.
It was
Thank
very
you so
Dr.
much.
Monica,
Thank you all.
do you stay in Russia or in Mexico?
No, in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico, I think it's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Hope to see you soon.
See you.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.